Hello, I'm Lawson Woods from Fish Tank Robotics, and in November 2025, I went down to the Central Florida Fairgrounds to compete at Robot Ruckus 2025 with my two brand new robots. Well, one of them was in its second event, and it was kind of new. Its upgrades were new. TETANUS, my vertical spinner, which I compete with back at InfinityCon, my new plastic 8-weight vertical spinner, Knifehead. So TETANUS had a new top plate, which was PLA+, and Knifehead was fully 3D printed. So let's get on to the fights. Alright, so how the event worked is that it was a Swiss bracket with 3 qualifying fights. So TETANUS was the first one to fight, and he was taking on Hackbot. Hackbot was a 4-wheel drive lifter robot. This was from a brand new team, I believe. It was a pretty durable looking robot, so my plan was just get underneath it. And I was really excited to bring TETANUS back into the arena. It was actually the very first fight for the arena, and it was the first fight shown on the stream. So I was really excited. So let's see what happened.
Are you guys ready? Set. All right, let me get a timer set. Our app for doing it is not ready. All right, then let's do this in 3, 2, 1, fight!
There you go.
Nice. Spin.
5, 4. Hit 30 left.
Nice.
Once again, Robot Ruckus, you have your brackets. Please load up for your arena. You know what arena you are in. You know
Stay
what
on.
fight you are ready for. Any thoughts? Ready for battle. Thank you.
Shred them.
All right, just a few minutes. We have a lot of bot fighting today. There is already a great battle going on over in the Plastic Gladiator Arena. How's it looking over there? I know you've been watching. I've been walking around. There's a million things going on.
Nice.
Everything is going crazy. Maker Faire Orlando, Robot Ruckus. We've already begun. Saturday just getting started. Welcome, everybody. I see you all. We're out there, we're having fun, we're here to destroy robots all day long, and you have come along for this journey. Once again, I'm Kid Carter. Who do I have here today? Sir, tell them who you are, tell them what you're from, tell them what you do.
5, 4,
Here we go, this is what we got. Yeah, there we go. I got you. I hear you.
1. That's a match.
All right. Woo!
All right, let's take out
Great fight.
TETANUS first.
After that fight, TETANUS won by judge's decision, which I was really happy about. TETANUS was working great, and I was able to get some pretty good shots in on Hackbot, and I was able to produce some sparks. So the next part's kind of confusing. So Knifehead was supposed to fight in his first battle, but I had to postpone it after I had radio issues. So TETANUS was up again. He was taking on another lifter robot, this time a robot called the Black Knight. The Black Knight was a Viper kit lifter robot, and I do not have the best track record against Viper kit lifters for some reason. I don't know why. After I lost to Cyber Dragon back at InfinityCon, I was ready to defeat a Viper kit lifter. So let's see what happened. but then I realized that my battery wasn't charged all the way.
All right, big guy. All right, let's go.
Good luck.
Alrighty. Fight in 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight. There you go. There you go. One minute. That's my weapon. There goes my weapon. Oh no. There it is. Alright, we gotta see some movement.
Well, if there's anything I learned from that fight, it's that I have to come in with a charged battery. I always do that for the fights, for Tetanus and Knifehead. However, I don't know what happened. I guess we just kind of forgot or something. Tetanus is 1-1. Hopefully we can come back in the next match. Okay, after some issues with the radio, Knifehead was ready to fight, and Knifehead's first ever fight would be against a two-wheel drive drum spinner called Baker's Dozen. Baker's Dozen was a pretty formidable looking robot. However, I noticed that Baker's Dozen didn't have any forks or wedge, so my plan was to just use my long forks to just scoop underneath and get a big shot.
Knowing your own weakness is really a good way to get ahead of the game. Sometimes fighting yourself is a way to just learn how well your robot can stand up to punishment.
No, and that's the truth of it is the artistry in robot warfare isn't pipe.
Absolutely. And some of these captains are very eccentric with their builds. Some just want to fit the meta so that they can start winning more. Others are a little bit more eccentric. They see designs that you wouldn't normally see in a smaller captain because they don't
Hey!
a lot more leeway. That's why the larger
Nice.
it's really important to allow people that little bit of flexibility to make their robots truly unique. Start with this.
Well, I can successfully say that Knifehead brutalized its first opponent, and it was a bloodbath. So, Knifehead managed to rip out the entire weapon assembly of Baker's Dozen, which is absolutely insane. The team decided to give me their broken motor as a little souvenir. In return, well, technically I gave them my broken fork as a souvenir, and in return they gave me their broken motor. Nice. After that bloodbath, Knifehead was up again because Tetanus fought in its place. However, Knifehead's next match was rough. It was taken on Repeat Robotics' very own Abrasion. However, Abrasion, the real Abrasion, wasn't at the event, so it was Kingpin. Kingpin / Abrasion, but it was Abrasion of the event, so I'm just going to call it Abrasion. Abrasion was a very wide vertical spinner. It was fast, and it had a long fork configuration. Now this matchup was really bad for me because I had only one spare fork left. So I was just praying at this point.
We are having a great time here, as you guys can tell. And we want you to be here. Don't forget there's a whole other cool day of robotic final combat tomorrow here at Orlando. So if you're not here today, you'll be here tomorrow. So right now we have some finals going on in the Amway Pro Arena. Jordan and Raven are going at it already. I love the lights. A little touch of cloud, a little flare in the arena.
Get out of there. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and there
Yes!
you go. We
From causing a bloodbath to being a part of a bloodbath, Knifehead is 1-1. Almost the entire robot was destroyed in that match, as the side panel was broken, the top was broken, the weapon was broken, the frame was slightly damaged. Yeah, Knifehead was in a pretty sorry state after that fight. Luckily, it has a little bit of a break. So, let's move on. TETANUS' third and final qualifying match was against another lifter. Why do I keep fighting lifters? This time it was another Viper Kit lifter by the name of Iron Mahan. Iron Mahan was a Viper Kit lifter, as I already said. My plan was to just hit it. I didn't really have any plans into this fight, I just wanted to hit it. Let's see if TETANUS won.
Get his wheel.
Get behind him. Get beside him.
There he is.
There you go. Behind him.
Don't let him get you. Good. Keep going. Go, hit him again. Grind him.
Yeah. Up against the wall.
Hit him.
Come on. Stay with him. This is his. There you go. Stay away from his front.
Go. Get out of there. Get him.
Pin him.
He's such a nice player. I'll tell you in a second.
Coming into this, a lot of maneuverability coming into play between these two bots. 2 and 2 TETANUS trying to get that. Not letting him out of that corner, and they are side by side. Oh, quick release.
And we will go to the judges in 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, and 1, and done. Very fine.
Unfortunately, Tetanus lost by a judge's decision. Honestly, it was a rough fight. Well, Tetanus was doing great in the fight. However, I made a massive mistake by spinning way too fast, getting flipped over, and then Tetanus's old weapon woes struck back, and the weapon stopped spinning. I think that moment of the fight swinged the decision to Iron Mahan. It was a really close fight, but credit is where credit is due because Iron Mahan had some great driving, and they ultimately took 3rd place at the event in their first ever event, which is really cool. But now Tetanus is 1-2 and is basically eliminated from contention in the playoff bracket. But Knifehead's still alive, so let's just see how Knifehead did. Knifehead had one more chance to make it into the bracket. It would be against a horizontal spinner by the name of Smash. Smash had I don't know if you would call it a Thagomizer design, but it had a pretty nice wedge in the front. I would run my wedge, however, I couldn't because one of the sides was too big. This is nothing against the team that lended me the spare side, which is Team Firewolf Robotics. In fact, shout out to Firewolf Robotics for letting me get a spare side in the first place. So I just had to run with no configurations in the front. This would be a really hard thing though, as I needed really good driving. So let's just see if Knifehead improves to 2-1.
Zero days since our last season. Tomorrow. Robot Ruckus. It is all about the ruckus and a little bit of robot. The chaos is organized, but it doesn't mean it's not organized.
Give him a smack, see if it works.
A little bit of robot, a little bit of robot, a little bit of robot, a little bit of robot.
So day 2 has come, and Knifehead's back in the arena for 2 grudge matches. One against the robot that I already fought, the other against another robot from the same team as Baker's Dozen. Let's start with the first robot that I fought in a grudge match, Smash. Smash got eliminated from the bracket by White Cheddar in the first round, so I gladly rematched Smash. However, in the fight, their weapon wasn't working, so it was kind of an unfair fight. So let's just see what happened now that my wedge was appropriately fitted onto this fight. Well, what happened? Well, the robot just died in the arena for some reason. He took it back into the pits, and my best guess is that it was a temporary brownout because the robot was working fine after the fight. It was really weird. Unfortunately, Knifehead was eliminated from the competition, but there were still grudge matches, so let's see what happened in those.
That's what's so great about
You guys are the judges for this one.
almost 100 bots in this event alone. It is such a grab bag of excitement for all these platforms, and most of them, especially the lifters.
Woo, that's
Those guys,
Smash.
they look over and they go, I want to be Will one day. I just want to demolish things the way Will did demolish. Like they're watching your YouTubes and TikToks on the beat, going, I did that to a 1-pounder the other day. I did the Will. You know what I mean? I've seen some kids show up with the leather coats too.
Yeah.
You, man. But if you're a superstar in this industry, always
Woo! Hit him again, hit him again.
people to be amongst them.
Oh.
Even though the fight was short, it was still a fun one. The wedge worked great, was able to scoop up Smash, and I was able to get some really big hits on him. I also got to keep their chassis, which was a really cool souvenir to get. It's really nice. Thanks, Smash team. let's get on to the final fight of the event for Knifehead. The final robot standing in Knifehead's way in a grudge match was the horizontal spinner from the same team as Baker's Dozen, Candy Corn. Candy Corn was a very powerful looking horizontal spinner. I was really excited for this fight because I really wanted some big hits.
We attach. So the fight's in like 10 minutes. All right. That was fun. Get in there. Oh! That was a big hit. Oh, wow. Oh, he broke his spinner. Worth it.
Hey, turn your motor off. Turn your weapon off.
Stay mobile.
Tell up.
You go tell him.
Someone's burning his motor off.
Oh no, he's stuck. Oh. Oh no! Keep moving, Lawson. There he goes.
Now that's what I call a fight. While Knifehead lost by crowd vote, it still got some really big hits, and Knifehead was able to get some really good shots on Candy Corn. However, Candy Corn ripped the entire weapon apart and managed to split, and so it got trapped underneath my wedge. The funniest moment in the fight, though, was either me screaming or yelling or whatever I was doing back there, aggressively talking, whatever you would call it, or Knifehead just almost winning and Candy Corn got stuck on its butt. It was doing the thing for a little bit until it managed to escape, but that was really funny and I loved having that fight. And that wraps up my time at Robot Ruckus in Central Florida. Honestly, the event was a little bit of a letdown. Both robots had their respective issues. For Tetanus, the old weapon woes struck back, and now its battery is starting to be a little bit temperamental. As for Knifehead, it had a brownout. I'm assuming it had a brownout. And it had some good hits when it was working, but when it wasn't, it was a disaster. But the robots will return to the arena with some upgrades. Before we end this video, there are a few shoutouts I want to make. The first and probably biggest shoutout is to Team Junkyard Dog for helping us get Knifehead in the arena in the first place. If it wasn't for them, Knifehead probably wouldn't be a thing at Robot Ruckus. The second shout out is to the entire Robot Ruckus team and all my commentator buddies that I had at the desk. This include Madman, Jonathan from Team Space Junk / Death to Fire, and also Carter. Not the Carter from Junkyard Dog, but Kid Carter. I think that's what he went by. I had a lot of fun at the desk, and overall this event ran very smoothly, and I had a lot of fun. And so that wraps up the 2025 year for Fish Tank Robotics. It was a little bit of a silent year, but not as silent as the years before. We found Build Fight Fun Infinity Con, and it was a lot of fun, not just commentating, but also competing with TETANUS, and actually getting the team's best result at 4th place. Then there was Robot Ruckus, where we debuted Knifehead for the first time, and managed to get some good lessons there. Also, last year, I said that I was going to bring 3 vertical spinners at Robot Ruckus. Well, I was kind of correct. TETANUS and Knifehead were 2. However, we had a 3rd robot that unfortunately couldn't make it in the plastic gaming division that was going to be driven by my dad. It was another vertical spinner, but I can't spoil too much information about it now. So, as for the future, TETANUS and Knifehead will be coming back with respective upgrades. The vertical spinner that I've been spoiling will also make its debut with my dad driving it. And also we got another new robot, a Schizo robot with an undercutter configuration. Yeah, I've built it, but I've decided not to reveal it yet, as I want to keep it a little bit of a surprise. But for now, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in 2026.